A full-stack financial solution company Razorpay has launched the 5th edition of their report, The Era of Rising FinTech. As the world fights COVID-19 outbreak, the report shares insights about the impact that the national lockdown has had on digital payments in India in a period of just 30 days. To talk to us more about the report, joining me right now on Hot Seat is co-founder and CEO of Razorpay, Harshil Mathur. Harshil, thank you so much for joining us on Startup Street. Yet again, always a pleasure talking to you. Now, as I mentioned, the report that you've put together talks about the fintech sector and says that it's seen a significant drop of 30% in online payments in the last 30 days. Now, this is something that we're seeing for the first time after demonetization. Could you talk to us as to what were the key factors that led to this drop?
Hi, thanks for inviting me again. There are a couple of things. We evaluated a wide range of sectors because we are in the business payment space. We are exposed to a wide range of sectors, right, from donations to bill payments to e-commerce to travel, and it has been a mixed bag. Overall, I think most things are down, primarily not because of demand. I think in general we still see an explosion of customer demand, especially for online payments, because most people are trying to stay at home and order things online, but supply chains are disrupted. So even companies like Flipkart, Amazon, everyone shut down ordering for a while. Even when they are available right now, they are available for limited set of customers, limited set of pin codes, limited set of products. And because of this, overall spending has taken a hit. From our perspective, we see online payments are down by 30%, but just that number doesn't give you enough insight. When you go deeper, you see certain segments are still continue to go up during these times, while most segments have gone down. And I do believe that once lockdown is lifted, online will recover much faster than offline, because while lockdown is lifted, people will still prefer to stay at home and order most things online. So yeah, it is compared to demonetization, but it is for a longer period of time. It's a more deeper behavioral change. And I think the behavioral change that will come out of this will sustain for a longer term than demonetization did.
Okay, so this is going to have a long-term impact, and of course, there's graphic flashing on our screens that clearly says that some sectors have also witnessed tremendous adoption when it comes to digital payments, and bill payments is one of them, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in the last 30 days of the lockdown. So there was a huge opportunity for fintech companies, but do you feel that there are some companies that will have to probably re-examine their model and readjust their business model, keeping in mind the trends that are emerging right now?
No, I completely agree. Not just fintech. I think almost every company is reevaluating all their business plans that they set out for next couple of years, because I think the world has drastically changed in past couple of days, especially in past 1 month. And I think this will be the new world order for a while to come. So social distancing will stay on for a longer time, and every company is reevaluating focus areas, things where they could focus a lot more on. Given our own perspective, like certain segments like bill payments, OTT and entertainment, online gaming, online pharmacy, online grocery have all gone up significantly in these times compared to segments like travel, e-commerce, and all of those which have dipped a lot. So there has been a significant mix and changes that have happened, and internally us, and I believe almost every fintech company is reevaluating how to make the best use of the opportunity. To give our example, like because of social distancing, we expect even when people step out of their houses, they would not want to transact with cards and transact with physical cash. So we have relaunched some of our products like eCOD and ePOS, which allow people to transact in the offline world through digital channels and through completely contactless mediums. So those are some of the strategies that we are doing, and I believe almost every fintech company will be reevaluating based on these data sets.
Okay, we'll talk about the relaunch of the product in just a bit, but considering the fact that you have access to so much data and you have access, or you've been studying the market for the past 30 days, tell us what to your mind is likely to happen after the lockdown is lifted. And what I mean is immediately the next few days. Talk to us about some of the digital payments and banking trends that will see a short-term spike, and then talk about the trends that would go beyond 2020.
Yeah, so one of the major impacts, our surveys we see is that online businesses of all sorts will see a lot of traction because right now, as I said, the demand is still extremely high, the supply is constrained. Once lockdown is lifted, the supply will open up. But even without lockdown, people would in general avoid stepping out of their houses. People in general, especially those who can afford it, would prefer to stay at home and order most things online whether it's food, whether it's grocery, whether it's fashion, whether it's electronics. People would generally prefer to order more things online. And that's why online should see a significant surge. Where, based on our estimate, we expect a 60% growth in online payments business alone, just a couple of days beyond lockdown, because in general, social distancing will be the talk of the town for at least next 6 to 8 months at the minimum, which means for 6 to 8 months, people will try to find ways through which they can shop, they can do their daily activities without stepping out of their houses. So that includes bill payments, that includes entertainment. So whether it's watching a movie, or whether it's paying a bill online, or whether it's travel experiences, people will try to find ways to do it that at home instead of stepping out of their houses. And that's what we are seeing right now. This trend should scale up even further once lockdown is lifted.
I believe gaming is another sector that's seen a massive spike when it comes to online payments, right after bill payments, right?
Yeah, and that was a big surprise for us as well. Typically, India is considered a small market for gaming, and that's why you haven't seen a lot of gaming companies come up in the startup space as well. But surprisingly, during lockdown, we saw customers didn't just started using online games a lot, they started paying for it, which was surprising. Like, people in general in India are known to, while they do play games, very few are willing to pay for games. But in these times, we saw platforms do skill-based gaming, fantasy gaming, all of those scaled up a lot. And some of those behavioral changes can have a long-term impact, because gaming and all of these things are very addictive in nature. Once people get onto it, even if social distancing and all of those things are reduced to some extent, people will get addicted to these platforms and continue to use those platforms in the longer term. They will continue playing that. Which could be a long-term change.
That's right.
Yeah.
That could be a long-term change. Like the era of freemium models would be back. But let me quickly talk to you about the product that you relaunched, which was your ePOS system. Quickly tell us how it works and who are you looking to target with this product relaunch?
Yeah, so we launched this product last when demonetization happened, because everyone wanted to shift away from cash and a lot of people didn't have POS terminals. So it is basically a software and app that anyone in the offline store can download and start accepting digital payments through their app directly. It's a contactless way of payment. Right after the COVID situation got escalated and lockdown came into effect, we saw a significant surge in usage of that app, because people who were sitting at home, like small ration shops, small grocery shops, are selling products on WhatsApp, on Instagram, or directly in their own social network or in their own community, because almost all societies have a WhatsApp group through which they're ordering to their local kirana shops. And these kirana shops want to accept payments. So what we did is we launched this app which allows the kirana shop to just send a link to its customer, and the customer can pay that link and the order can be delivered. There's no cash exchange that is required. There's no card exchange that is required. Even when lockdown gets lifted and people are in the shop, if a shop doesn't have a terminal, they can actually send a link to the customer and let the customer pay right then and there, without exchanging a physical card, physical cash, which would reduce the spread possibility of the virus.
Contact. Yes. I get that. Now, before I let you go, Harshil, let me get your views on the Reliance Jio and Facebook partnership, and how do you see that playing out? Of course, this will affect multiple sectors, and that's something that we've been discussing. But speaking specifically of the fintech sector, and I'm going to request you to, get as candid as possible, but how worried are you?
No, I think we are in the B2B payment space, and from our perspective, the more players in this space, the better it is for us. Like you can see in our report as well, we have shared numbers on how different UPI cards, credit card, debit card, net banking, and different UPI apps have competed and created this entire digital payments ecosystem. And a large player like WhatsApp and Jio working together in this space could really lead to explosion of digital payments, the likes of which we have never seen before. And that's why I said, like, in general, entry of new players is always good. The market should be free. But at the same time, we have to be wary that this doesn't lead to creation of a monopolistic ecosystem, because that's never good for the consumer. So as long as it doesn't create monopoly and increases competition in the market, it will be really good for the ecosystem.
Okay, all right. That's a positive outlook right there. And as you said, more the players, this is going to get better, and bigger players entering would mean that we see a bigger disruption in the space. Harshil, thank you so much for sharing all those details with us and joining us right here on Startup Street.